I've come to say thank you for your soul, Jesus Christ, who died on the cross. Here I am to say, Baba, oh, Eshe.
Appreciate the name of the Lord. Begin to exalt his name. He is worthy of our praise. There is none like him. There is none to be compared unto him. He is the God of yesterday, today, and forever. He is the beginning and the end, the first and the last. The ocean divider. He is the way maker. He is the beauty of Esther. Begin to appreciate him. Begin to thank him for yet another wonderful day like this. Thank him for his love. Thank him for his goodness. Thank him for his preservation. Thank him for the love that he has over you and your children. Thank him for his sustenance. Begin to appreciate him. Begin to appreciate him. A song singer said, he said, count your blessings, name them one by one, and you will be surprised what the Lord has done for you. Begin to appreciate him. Begin to appreciate him. It's not all that started at the beginning of this month that I see alive today. It is not all that began this year with you that I see alive today. But the Lord decided to keep you. He said, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy on. He said, I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion on. Begin to glorify the name of the Lord. Open your mouth, begin to appreciate him. Lord, you are worthy of our praise. Lord, you are worthy to be honored. We give you all the praise. We give you all the glory. We thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your guidance. I thank you, Lord, for the life of my children. I thank you for the life of my husband. I thank you, oh Lord, for Land of Grace Ministry. ministry. I thank you, oh Lord, for how far that you have kept us. Baba, Lord, it is not because we are too righteous, not because we are too faithful. It is your love, your mercy, and your grace that has kept us into the day. Baba, Lord, we worship your name. Blessed be your name, blessed be your name. Blessed be your name, blessed be your name. Thank you, Jehovah Nissi. Thank you, I am that I am. Thank you, the lily of the valley. For in Jesus' mighty name we pray. And this is how you are going to still open your mouth and pray. And say, Lord, in any way I have sinned against you. In any way I have held against you, Lord, have mercy upon me. This word said in the book of Romans, said they have all sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Oh, say, Lord, have mercy upon me. Have mercy upon me. Have mercy on my children. Have mercy on my marriage. Have mercy on me. If we say we have not sinned, it means we are a liar and there is no truth in us. Say, Lord, have mercy on us. Lord, have mercy on Land of Praise Ministry. Open your mouth and begin to ask for the mercy of God. Open your mouth and begin to pray. I cannot hear you. Father, Lord, have mercy upon us. Jesus, have mercy on us. Have mercy on us. Have mercy on us. We have sinned against you one way or the other. We have held against you every secret sin in our life, every open sin in our life. Our father, sin of our mother, sin of our ancestor that is working against us. Lord, show us your mercy tonight. Lord, show us your mercy tonight. Do not let sin stand as a reproach to us. Do not let sin stand as a hindrance to our prayer tonight. Do not let sin stand against the blessings of God to us tonight. Baba, show us mercy. Lord, have mercy upon us. Lord, have mercy upon us. Lord, have mercy upon us. Let your mercy prevail. Let your mercy prevail. Let your mercy prevail. For in Jesus' mighty name, our sins are be forgiven. And this is how you are still going to pray. You are going to call down the presence of God. Because without God, we do nothing. He said, except I build a house, he said, the builder buildeth in vain. He said, except I watch over the city, he said, the watchman watcheth in vain. You are going to call down the Spirit of God, the sweet Spirit of God, to come and take charge of this atmosphere, to come and take charge of whatever that we are going to do today, the ministration, the word of God that we hear today. You are going to ask that the presence of God take charge. You are going to ask that the Spirit of God take control. Open your mouth and begin to pray. Baba, come and take control. Come and take control. Have your way into this meeting. Throw your weight around. Throw your weight around. Let your power come down like never before. Baba, come and take absolute control. As many that will step into your house today, Baba, they will feel your presence. They will feel your power. They will feel your touch in the name of Jesus. The administration of today will come into your hands. Whatever that is going to take place in this house today, Lord, we commit all into your hands, so Lord. Baba, you come and take charge. You come and take absolute control, because we know that all power belongs to you. Baba, come and take charge. We ask that your presence come down mightily and fill this house like never before. In the name of Jesus. Thank you, precious God. For in Jesus' mighty name we pray.
Thank you are going. With those hands for Jesus. Father, we give you praise. Lift your hands to heaven. Eternal King of Kings, we thank you for yet another opportunity to stand before your presence. Lord, we pray that your name be glorified in all we do. Pray that at the end of this meeting, you will do what no man can do and the glory alone. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Without wasting much of time, let's receive the choristers. Put your hands together for them.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Praise Master Jesus.
Hallelujah.
With the light of the world, we have a number to bless the name of the Lord. Listen and remain blessed in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Feels like I dive to the river. You washed away all my shame. No longer bound because I'm forgiven. I've been living free for sins beyond to stay. You gave your life for me that I might be saved. You changed my destiny with the awesome price you paid. Now I can say all things have passed away, all things are new. I can say yes, I've been changed. Yes, I've been changed. Yeah. And it's true. I found my life in you. All things are new. I can say yes, I've been changed. Yes, I've been changed. Yeah. Mind renewed, no longer a sinner. No greater love have I ever known. No. I've got power, walk like a winner. Why me fed is to cause me is whole. You gave your life for me that I might be saved. Yeah. You changed my destiny with the awesome price you paid. Now I can say all things are passed away. All things are new. I can say yes, I've been changed. Yes, I've been changed. Yeah. It's true, it's true. It's true. I found my life in you. All things are new. I can say yes, I've been changed. Yes, I've been changed. Yeah. All things are passed away. All things are new. I can say yes, I've been changed. Yes, I've been changed. And it's true. I found my life in you. All things are new. I can say yes, I've been changed. Yes, I've been changed. All things are passed away. All things are become new. I can say yes, I've been changed. Yes, I've been changed. Yeah. And it's true. I found my life in you. All things are new. I can say yes, I've been changed. Yes, I've been changed. Something's changing. I'll never be the same. He changed me. 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 And I'll never be the same. All things are passed away. All things are new. I can say yes, I've been changed. And it's true. I found my life in you. All things are new. I can say yes, I've been changed. All things are passed away. All things are new. I can say yes, I've been changed. Something's changing. I'll never
Hallelujah. Celebrate Jesus. Amen. Celebrate Jesus. Hallelujah. Praise Master Jesus. Please, God's servant is already here. And he's been here for quite a time. Man of God, you're welcome in Jesus' name. He's here with some of his ministers. Help me to join your hands together for them. Hallelujah. Praise God. Amen. Somebody, are you happy to be in the house of God today? Without wasting time. With a clapping ovation, join me to receive God's servant, a legend and a general.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Just lift your hands. Let's appreciate the King of Glory for this good and glorious day. Lift your hands above your head. Give thanks to the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Ancient of Days, the I am that I am, the soon coming King, the all-sufficient and the almighty, the God that sees the end from the beginning, the mighty one in battle, the Elohim and the Adonai. Lift your hands and give him praise. He's worthy. He's the reason why we are alive today. Give him all the praise. Appreciate the Lord. Thank him for who you are today. Some have eye they can't see. Some have ear they can't hear. Some have mouth they cannot eat. Thank God you have eye you can see. You have ear you can hear. Give him praise. He's worthy. He's worthy. He's worthy. He's worthy. Mango sekere baba yanda godore makashidia. Zule branda hado kosori kere baba yanda. Zekrodo ho seketeliba. Mando ko seketeli kandaha. Worshiping. We serve a living God. Our God is alive. Bless his holy name. Go ahead and give him praise. Go ahead and give him glory. You are in the house of God, some are in the hospital. Some are giving all the ghost right now. But thank God for the gift of life. Give him praise. Give him praise. In Jesus' wonderful name we pray. I want to ask the Holy Spirit, the owner of the church, to come and take over today's service. We circumcise our hearts. Let us speak to us with the language we understand. Oh, blessed Holy Spirit, come and have your way. Open your mouth. Begin to call on the Holy Ghost over this arena. Yes, ask the Holy Spirit to take charge. We come against every territorial forces. We come against environmental demons. We come against principalities and powers. Come against rulers of darkness. We come against spiritual wickedness in the high places. Wonderful name we pray. We want to pray against any strange altar in this vicinity. Any altar of strange and false religion, we bind them in the name of the Lord Jesus. Any altar that is not of God, we plead the blood of the Lamb. We crush them down by the power of the Holy Spirit. We command the spirit behind the altar to expire. We command the spirit behind that every strange altar to expire. Open your mouth and pray that prayer. Every evil spirit behind any strange altar, occultic altar, altar of strange religions, altar of witchcraft, we command the power and the spirit behind to expire in the name of the Lord. Expire by the power of the Spirit. Expire. expire. Labaka shedeboko se. Jesus' name we pray. I want to pray this prayer. Anything bought in my life, on this, oh Lord, take it away from my life. Anything bought in my marriage, anything, Baba, take it away. Open your mouth and talk to God in prayer. Take away anything bought. Naaman, the captain of the Syria, was an honorable man, was a mighty man of valor, but there was a fault in his life. Fault in your life, open door for reproach on this mountain. Ended on this mountain. Open your mouth and talk to the Lord in prayer. He's alive. Amen. He's alive. Jesus is alive forever. He's alive. Amen. He's alive. Jesus is alive. light of the world, our healer, our comforter, the power behind the rod of Moses, the power behind the store of David, the ever-living and ever-present Father. I'm not here to do my will, but your will. Take over my mouth. Take over everything about me. Let me not speak of myself, but let me speak by the leading of the Holy Spirit. At the end, your people will be blessed. At the end, the church will be blessed. At the end, your name will be glorified. And today will be a day that your children will never forget in their life. Thank you, Spirit of God. In Jesus' name we pray. Let the church shout a loudest hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Shake away one or two persons and sit down. Hallelujah. I'm happy to be in your midst. And I believe God is going to bless somebody today. Please join me to celebrate my friend, your pastor, Apostle Winston. He's a wonderful man of God. And I believe God will continue to strengthen him, equip him, empower him to do more in Jesus' name. My prayer that God will raise laborer in this ministry for the harvest. In Jesus' name we pray. Just to hear the word of God this evening. Sit down, everybody. The theme of this program, the making of a better world man. And I title my message, Jesus will make you a better man. Hallelujah. Jesus will make you a better man and a better woman. I want to encourage you, the greatest thing you will ever do is to know God yourself. You may be a member of different denomination. You may know the name of your pastor. But the word of God said, they that do know their God, they shall be strong and do exploits. When you look what is happening around us, is the spirit of the last day. Strange ministries, all people are acting drama in the church without the word of God. All those things will fade away, but the word of God will never fail. I would like us to turn our Bible to the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4. 2 Corinthians chapter 4. And I will take the reading from verse 3. We end up in verse 7. Hallelujah. Father, bless your people through your word. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 3. But if our gospel be hidden, it is hidden to them that have lost. Praise the Lord. If we gather in a church and we fail to list the light of the glory of God the Lord, ourselves, your servant, for Jesus' sake. Praise the Lord. For God who commanded the light to shine out of darkness has shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of the God in the face of Jesus Christ. Praise the Lord. Where we read that said, if our gospel is be hidden, is hidden to them that do what? That are lost. Are you aware that a lot of people, they have spent more than 10 years in church, but they have never had a personal encounter with Jesus? They hear that name, they call that name, they don't know who Jesus is. Jesus Christ is the light of the world. When you look at the book of John chapter 8 verse 12, Jesus said that, and I am the light of the world. Whoever followed me, never walking in ignorance. When you have the light of life, darkness have no dominion over you. Your life will transform for good. When you are in Christ, there is a sign and a mark upon you. A mark of touch not. People will see the glory of God in your life. I pray after this program, they will see a better man and a better woman in your life. We look at the book of Amen. Matthew chapter 4. We are going to read from verse 18 to 19. Followed me. Because the Bible says, heaven and earth shall pass away. My word remain forever. We look at the book of Matthew chapter 4 verse 18. Praise God. Before that 18, when you look at verse 16, he said, the people which sat in darkness saw the light, and they which sit in the region of the shadow of death, light spring up. Praise the Lord. From that time, Jesus began to preach and to say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. This is the message that is missing today. The message of repentance. Praise the Lord. Message of what? Of repentance. Everybody wants to make it in sin. I told people wherever I go, you don't need to be a Christian to be rich. Hallelujah. You don't need to be a Christian to be rich. You don't need to be a Christian to get married or to have children. The purpose of we giving our life to Christ is because of eternity. Paul said, if only in this world we have hope, we are more miserable than all men. Look at verse 18. And Jesus walking, hallelujah. Praise the Lord. And Jesus walking by the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers called Peter and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishers. And Jesus said unto them, follow me. Underline. They were by affection, but he said unto them, follow me. Follow him. He transformed your life. Praise the Lord. He saw two brethren. They were casting their nets into the sea, for they were fishers. 19 said, and he said unto them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. 20. And they straightway left the net and followed Jesus. If you want God to bring the best part of you, there's something you must leave. Hallelujah. They left their nets and followed Jesus. Today, we are living a own life. We pretend we are life. For to form in your life, that old man, that old woman in you must be crucified. That self in you must die for Christ to form in you. Because the theme of your program, the making of what? A better man. If you must be a better Christian, not a Christian that lives two-faced life. The life you live in the church, different from the one you live at home, different from the one you live outside. There must something you must leave. They left their nets. There's something God is telling somebody here today to leave in your life, so that the hand of the Lord will begin to rest upon you. I want to tell you the truth. We're in the last day. A lot of error is being seen today in the church. A lot of things that contradicted the word of God is being happening in the church. A lot of manipulation. Why are you falling victim? Because you are ignorance of the word of God. Because the word of God said, my people are perished for lack of knowledge. The knowledge, if you don't have the word of God in your life, you can embrace anything and mistake it for the word of God. Praise the Lord. We look at the book of John, chapter 1, and verse 12. The Bible said, as many that receive him, unto them he gave what? Power to become